Hey there, Michael Costanzo here, and welcome to this video where we are going to be talking about sleep deprivation and how it can affect our health. And we're going to go over a study, and I'm going to talk about the research that came out of it, what we learned, what was learned from it, what was discovered from it, and how to optimize our sleep for the best health we can, right? Because sleep deprivation can be very damaging to us as individuals, right? The study came out and said that we are at higher risk for autoimmune diseases, we're at higher risk for cardiovascular diseases, all because of sleep deprivation. And not only the physical health, but I know for me, after having two kids, both 3.5 and a 1-year-old, sleep deprivation can take a toll on your mental health as well. All right, so let's get into the actual research study, what they talk about, and what was discovered, right? So this study came out of the Mount Sinai Hospital, and it was published in the Journal of Experimental Medicine, and I will leave a link to this study in the description below if you want to check it out yourself. And what the researchers analyzed was 14 healthy adults who regularly slept 8 hours every night, right? So what they did was they monitored them for 6 weeks, sleeping 8 hours every night, and then they took blood from them and analyzed their immune cells, right? So then what they did next is they reduced their amount of sleep time by 90 minutes. So just an hour and a half less of sleep every night for 6 weeks, and they analyzed their blood and the immune cells again. And what they determined that at the end of the study is that the blood and the blood samples between the two, there was a significant change in their immune cells due to a lack of sleep, as well as the DNA structure of the immune cells was altered. So what exactly happened to the immune cells? Well, there was more of them, right? And when we have more immune cells in our bodies than we need, it actually is very dangerous because that creates an overactive immune system, and this can lead to autoimmune diseases, right? This can just lead to, number one, autoimmune disease, but they also found that it could lead to an increased risk of heart disease, cardiovascular disease. So they also found that after researching more, that sleep recovery is not able to fully reverse the effects of poor quality sleep, right? So I think a lot of us are under the assumption that we can just, if we have a poor night's sleep last night, we can just make up for it the next night. But what they realized that there is a molecular imprint after on our cells when we have insufficient sleep, right, on our immune stem cells. Even after weeks of really high quality recovery sleep, there is still an imprint that we had poor quality sleep, and it still affects our cells, right? So this molecular imprint can cause cells to respond in all kinds of crazy ways that lead to more inflammation. It can lead to more disease, right? So now what do we do with this? We realize that lack of sleep, poor quality sleep, just an hour and a half less of sleep every single night puts us at greater risk for autoimmune diseases, for heart disease. What do we do with that, right? Well, we need to realize that, number one, how important sleep is, and to take it into serious consideration. Take it into if you are an exerciser, if you work out consistently, we have to put an emphasis on getting good quality sleep, right? So what we can do is first start with having a regular sleep schedule, right? And begin to stick to it as much as possible. This will get our bodies into a rhythm. Try going to bed at the same time that you do every night, and try waking up around the same time every night. This, again, will help your body get into rhythm. And I feel for the people that maybe they don't have a regular schedule, right? Maybe they are, a firefighter, or maybe they're a police officer, or maybe they're a doctor or a nurse, right? And you have these varying schedules, these schedules that are all over the place, and it can really wreak havoc, according to this study, on our bodies when we are changing them, when we are sleep deprived, when we are not getting into a rhythm and allowing our bodies to restore and replenish the cells in our bodies that it needs to, right? So another thing that you can do is to avoid using electronics in bed, right? I know for me, I'm guilty of this. Staring at a bright screen in a dark room right before bed is probably not the best idea. We want to wind down maybe an hour before bed, put the electronics, put the television, put the Netflix away, and let your mind wind down with a book. I know that's always easier said than done because our phones, our electronics are so addicting, and I think they're built that way to keep us addicted so we can continue viewing things, continue watching things, continue spending money on things, right? But that's a whole other topic. Then you're going to want to make sure that your bedroom is dark, quiet, and comfortable, right? I hate even when there's a little sliver of light in my bedroom. I like it to be completely dark. I even have an eye mask. If there's from our baby monitor, there's a little light sometimes. If that's coming through, I just put my eye mask on. I love it dark. I have a sound machine. We just make it as comfortable as possible. We crank the AC. We have a fan going, make it calm, cold, and comfortable, right? So you can just snuggle under the sheets and get a good night's sleep. And also avoid drinking caffeine or eating heavy meals right before bed. When you're eating a heavy meal right before bed, it takes your body a lot more energy to digest it when you're sleeping, and it just makes it much more difficult to get a good quality night's sleep. And same with caffeine, right? If you're drinking a coffee at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, your body is still going to feel the effects. Even though you might not feel it, your body knows that there's caffeine in your blood system, and it's going to affect your sleep quality, right? Same with alcohol. I'm not that big of a drinker. I maybe have one drink every month, and even when I do have that drink, I can tell the difference in my sleep quality. All right, so I hope this video was helpful for you. I hope you got some value out of it. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.